as most of you know, there's big connection between Dunedin and Edinburgh that stretches way back, and obviously Dunedin was chosen by the elders of the new Kirk to be the place for the Scottish city in New Zealand, and the Reverend Thomas Burns, the nephew of Robbie Burns, was one of those elders of the church. So Dunedin's always had a very strong connection, particularly in terms of poetry, with Scotland. And although back in those days it was pretty hard for people to maintain contact with their relations back home in Scotland, but they certainly people held on to the tradition. So there's always been Burns Night, and there's always been piping competitions, and there's always been Highland Games, and so those things have always continued. And one of the things they have regularly is poetry competitions, and normally those are Burns in the Burns tradition. So there's a Burns Society in Dunedin that has the Burns poetry competition. But one year the Dunedin City Council decided they would have a poetry competition in the style of William McGonagall. And it was then that I saw my opportunity. The poem had to be titled I Am Dunedin, and having lived in Dunedin for 25 years and having Scots ancestry, I thought I'd be up for it. So I whipped off my piece of McGonagall-esque magic, and the other thing that drew me to the competition, the first prize, was a 1 litre bottle of Dunedin's very own Wilson's whiskey, which is sadly no longer with us. That distillery is closed down. But it wasn't actually bad whiskey, it wasn't too bad, and that was first prize, so I definitely had to be in. So I whipped up the poem and posted it off and waited for the news of my victory to come through, and nothing happened. I waited a bit longer and still nothing happened, and I thought I'd better reread the entry form to make sure I got the address right and that sort of thing. So I reread the entry form, and I noticed down in the fine print, every poem must be accompanied by the official entry form. And I'd failed to send the entry form, so my poem, I take it that's the reason I didn't win. There's no reason for you to share in my suffering, so you'll now get to hear my poem, titled I Am Dunedin, in the style of William McGonagall. It's not quite the original version. I added a couple of verses last week to make it slightly more applicable for a Scots audience. So. Here we go. Oh, I am fair Dunedin town, with weather that's middling and ne'er a dark frown. I am Dunedin, and I welcome the fine sea mist, like an elderly grandfather waiting for his wean's kiss. When my forefathers came to this new hame, in old Edinburgh they found my name, and reminders of that fair city still can be found in my street names, my rivers and my hills. Princes Street, Dundas Street, the waters of Leith, Kistorfin, they all remind me of that now far off hame, and the layout is very well proportioned. Those canny founders also brought their love of education and built the new land's first university, intellectual edification. But engineering marvels sadly lack no grand bridges to travel o'er forth and back. When market day comes to town, farmers and the city folk all come down to see the produce laid out, bonny and fair, tatties, neeps, aye, haggis and mare. I've Sunsea fishwives of my ain, in New Portobello they still reign. But the neighbours, they can't compare to the Fifers, the Ouija's and the old enemy down there. I am Dunedin, home of the brave, the albatross, the fur seals, and for surface, the mighty waves. With an eye on the future and one on the past, you can be sure neither will ever be out of my grasp. So, come see me soon. To not visit 'twould be a sin. I've so much more to show y'all for I am Dunedin.